Daniel loved God and he obeyed God's rules. He talked to God 3 times a day and asked God for help often. Daniel served in the Babylonian king's court for many years and under many kings. Daniel always proved himself to be more capable than the other court officials. Daniel was serving under King Darius, and because of his abilities, the king made plans to place him in charge of the entire empire. The other court officials searched something wrong in Daniel, but they couldn't find anything wrong with him. He was faithful, responsible, and completely trustworthy. The court officials realized the only way to get at Daniel would be to challenge his faith. So they went to King Darius and told him to make a law for the next 30 days. Anybody who prays to anyone except King Darius will be thrown into the lion's den. King Darius agrees and signed the law. When Daniel heard of this, he went home and knelt down to pray in his room with his windows open. He prayed and gave thanks to God and asked God for his help. The court official went to his house and found him praying. They went to the king and reminded him of the law. They said that Daniel had disobeyed the law. When the king heard this, he was very upset, and he spent the whole day trying to find a way to save Daniel. On that evening, the court officials came back to the king and reminded him of the law. At last, the king gave orders for Daniel to be thrown into the lion's den. The king said to Daniel, "May your God, who you faithfully serve, rescue you." And then the lion's den was sealed shut, with Daniel inside. The king felt miserable. He couldn't sleep and was fasting for the night. In the very early morning, the king ran to the lion's den and then said, "Daniel, did your God rescue you from the lion?" Suddenly, Daniel answered, "Long live the king! My God sent his angels to shut the lion's mouth so that they will not hurt me." The king was overjoyed and ordered that Daniel will be taken out of the lion's den. Then the king ordered the men who had schemed against Daniel to be thrown into the lion's den as punishment. Daniel was safe, and there was not a scratch on him, for he trusted in God.